Think about your last bad money decision. You probably blamed your lack of discipline. But standard financial advice is lying to you. That decision was programmed into you before you were 8 years old. There are 3 protocols to rewrite this code. And the third one is the exact reason why the rich get richer while doing absolutely nothing. Let me show you. It's Sunday evening. You told yourself this week you'd sit down, review your finances, figure out where everything went. You open the banking app, you see the numbers, that familiar tightening in your chest. And you close it. You'll do it next week. That moment right there, that's not laziness. That's not a lack of discipline. That's a program running. And the program was written decades ago by an experience you probably don't even remember clearly. Behavioral economists mapped this out. Between ages 4 and 7, you didn't learn about money. You absorbed an implicit financial belief. The anxiety in your parents' voices when the bills arrived became your financial operating system. That's not a mindset. That's a neurological reflex running your bank account today. These beliefs don't sit in your conscious mind waiting to be examined. They get stored in the same memory system that knows how to ride a bike. And they fire exactly the same way. Automatically, before your conscious brain weighs in. Which means, right now, you are not making money decisions with your adult brain. You're making them with a 7-year-old's emotional template, overlaid with adult knowledge that has almost no power against something that feels like a fundamental truth about reality. The most common invisible scripts sound like this. I'm just not good with money. Rich people are lucky, or greedy, or different from me. There's never enough. Saving is for people who earn more than I do. You probably recognize at least one of those. You didn't choose it. It was handed to you before you had the ability to choose. And here's the research finding that should stop you. Studies on financial behavior across income brackets found that people earning $150,000 a year can operate on identical scarcity scripts as people earning $40,000. If those scripts were installed early enough. The income changes. The belief doesn't. Not automatically. Not without intervention. So the question isn't whether you have one of these scripts running. You do. Everyone does. The question is, do you know which one is yours? That's protocol 1. And it starts with 10 minutes most people never give themselves. Set a timer. Write down everything that surfaces when you think about money. Don't filter for what sounds rational. Write down the thoughts that feel embarrassing, the ones that feel too dark or too petty or too irrational to say out loud. Then ask this question about each one. Did I choose this belief? Or was it handed to me before I had the ability to choose? That question is the entire game. Beliefs you consciously chose can be re-examined with evidence. Beliefs that were handed to you feel like facts about reality. And that feeling of factness is precisely what gives them power over you. You're not fighting a belief when you try to push past them. You're fighting what feels like the truth. Do this exercise, but know what comes next. The instinct that surfaces the moment you see your scripts clearly is the exact instinct that has been stopping your financial progress for years. Most people identify the script, feel a flash of clarity, and then try to do the one thing that doesn't work. And what happens next is where this gets dangerous. Let's say you've done the audit. You've identified your script. The most common one. I'll never really get ahead financially. That's just not who I am. You've written it down. You've traced it back. Maybe you can even see exactly where it came from. Now what? Most people try to think their way out of it. They repeat the opposite. I am good with money. I am capable of building wealth, and try to believe it through sheer repetition. They push through. For a few weeks, it seems to shift. Then it's back, louder than before. This time with the added weight of, see? I can't even change my own mindset. I really am hopeless. These ancient brain structures don't respond to logic or affirmations. They respond to two things: repetition and raw emotion. If a kid is terrified of dogs, explaining that dogs are safe fails. You need repeated calm exposure to safe dogs to rewire the brain. Your money scripts work exactly the same way. You need hard evidence, not empty arguments. So here is Protocol 2. It works on the same principle as the dog exposure. You need evidence, not argument. And the evidence has to be yours. Go back to your script. Find a moment, one specific moment from your own life, where it was demonstrably wrong. Not a theory, a date, an amount, a decision you made that the script said you couldn't. In March last year, I put $400 aside even though I was convinced I had nothing left to save. Write that down. That's your first counter-evidence entry. And it hits the same emotional layer as the original belief because it came from the same place, your lived experience. Then write the belief you want to replace it with. Not inflated, accurate. Not, I'm great with money, but I am more capable than what I was taught to believe. And read both. Every morning. For 30 days. Not as a ritual. As a deliberate data injection into the exact same system that stored the original script. Every morning you do this, the old pattern receives one more data point that contradicts itself. 30 days of that. And the pattern starts to waver. But let's be mathematically realistic. Relying on daily discipline is exactly how people stay broke. Between day 1 and day 30, your old software will sabotage you. You are going to have bad days, which is why Protocol 3 exists. It is the ultimate fail-safe. Here's a question. If you woke up tomorrow with zero motivation, zero discipline, could you still build wealth? Most people say no. And that belief, that financial progress requires constant active effort from your conscious brain, is the third script, the quietest one, and in terms of total lifetime cost, probably the most expensive of the three. Here's what research on high net worth individuals actually found. The single most consistent behavior separating people who built substantial wealth from people who didn't wasn't investment sophistication, or income level, or discipline. It was automation. Specifically, financial decisions made once, at a system level, that removed money from the reach of the emotional brain entirely. Your childhood scripts live in your emotional brain. They fire in the exact states where financial decisions most commonly get made. Stressed after a punishing week at work. Impulsive purchase. Anxious about an uncertain future. Paralyzed, avoiding investment accounts entirely. Tired at the end of the month. Skip the transfer you told yourself you'd make. These are not moral failures. They are predictable outputs from a system operating exactly as it was designed. By a 7-year-old's experience of the world. Automation doesn't care about any of that. It executes before your emotional brain enters the room. Every month, before your hands touch your paycheck, a portion moves to savings, a portion moves to investments. The decisions are already made. Your scripts have nothing to intercept. You could be carrying every negative belief you've ever held about money in the worst financial week of your year. And the transfer still happens. Think of it as a bypass installed one level below where the scripts operate. The scripts run on the emotional layer. The automation runs on the structural layer, and wealth builds regardless of which version of yourself shows up on the 15th of the month. One 28-year-old who had cycled through the same pattern for 6 years, saving money, then spending it in moments of stress, saving it again, spending it again. Set up a single $200 automatic transfer to a high-yield savings account, not because she suddenly had more discipline, because she removed the decision from the arena where her scripts competed. 24 months later, $4,800 had accumulated without a single conscious act of willpower. The scripts hadn't disappeared. They just hadn't been given a decision to intercept. That's not discipline, that's architecture. Protocol 3 is this. This week, not next week, this week, set up one automated transfer. From your checking account to a savings or investment account. The amount is secondary. What matters is the structural fact that it happens without you deciding it in the moment. Then, within the month, if your employer offers a retirement contribution match, automate it at whatever level captures the full match. Every pay cycle you've waited is money that went somewhere else. It doesn't have to after today. That's the full architecture. 3 protocols, 1 operating system, and for the first time, it's running in your favor. But here's what nobody tells you about what comes next. The same programming that shapes how you save and spend, it also shapes how much you allow yourself to earn. The invisible ceiling on your salary negotiations, the price you put on your own work, the moment you settled for less because something deep down said that was right for someone like you. Most people fix the spending side and hit a wall they can't explain. That wall has a name. I made a video that goes directly into that mechanism. The exact scripts that cap your income before you ever sit down to negotiate. It's on screen right now. If this is how you want to understand money, not the surface, the actual operating system underneath, subscribe. This is what I build every week. And drop a comment. What's the money script you're still fighting? I read every one.